I hear you like pizza, so we got pizza. Before we start,
at this point, I'll eat anything.
Even Little Caesars?
Oh, yeah. $5 hot and ready? Is that what we're working with?
What's the best kind of pizza out there? Best pizza you've ever had?
I like I don't know what style it is, like the deep dish that they do at Jets. They call it like, it's not like Chicago, Detroit style, I think, maybe. Possibly.
Is that where they dump the sauce on top?
No, that's Chicago, I think.
Oh, okay. I don't know my pizza very
I don't
well.
really
Thanks
eat
for
it,
the
but I
loss.
do know Jets got a good pizza.
Is Jets a chain?
Yep.
We don't have Jets around here.
My wife doesn't approve. It's like probably not like technically the best, but it's good. I like it.
It doesn't look like you probably eat a ton of pizza either. You watch your pizza intake?
I'm just busy chasing kids around all the time.
That makes sense.
Burn off the pizza.
For sure. Now, let's talk about this solo project as we get started a little bit and how it came to be. Obviously, BK kind of started his own thing first. You did the song with Tim McGraw. Is that kind of what inspired this to happen?
Yeah, BK came to me and said, hey, I'm really feeling led and excited. I want to do this solo thing, and I think it'd be good for us. And took me a second to process that and fully understand. I was a little caught off guard at the beginning, but I thought, that's cool. I'll just be a songwriter and a stay-at-home dad, and that sounds fun. I've always been envious of the songwriters who, work the 11 to 4 and go home and get to be in town. And so I did that for about 6 months, and obviously we were in a pandemic as well, so I would have been home anyways. But I really quickly started kind of missing, the artistry, the recording music, playing live, connecting with the fans, telling stories through songs. And so yeah, I just decided, I'll try this thing out. And I quickly kind of started to understand what BK was talking about and the need. And I was like, this is actually really important and special and exciting to get to tell our individual stories and to kind of connect on a more personal level.
Are you starting to regret it now that you're like on the road all the time again? You got to think there for a second.
You
were going to get more time at home, and here you are.
I hadn't regretted it yet, to be honest. I have a new appreciation for being out here, for playing shows, even the long weekends and the early mornings. I'm like, man, give it to me. I love this. It takes me back to 2012, 2013 when we were really, kind of in grind mode. And I thrive in that. I love what I do so much that it's just so much fun. And like I said, after the pandemic, I have a whole new gratitude and thankfulness for even being out here. So yeah, it feels like I'm in a great place.
You kind of answered this question already, but I wonder, like through the years with BK, did you guys ever talk about this maybe becoming a plan down the road at some point, or was it just kind of sprung on you?
No, it was. We had mentioned it a few times over the years. BK had expressed that he'd like to do that at some point, but I was only surprised by like the timing. I thought, well, that'll be like 10 years from now, or something like that. But hey, I mean, once we dove into it, it feels like the right time. So I was, like I said, it took me a second to fully wrap my head around it, but once I did, I was like, yeah, I can get on board with this. I think it'd be fun.
The media is an interesting place for sure. And so there's reports that you read that says that it's a break. And then there's other reports that you read that say this is the end of FGL forever.
Right.
If you had to answer that question right now, what would you say?
Man, I would personally say it's hard to predict the future. That's also something I've learned over the last couple of years, as we all have. But I'm approaching the solo career as all or nothing. I'm giving it all I got, and I told BK to do the same thing. And we'll just reassess in a few years. If it makes sense, we want to get back together and do some stuff. Great. If we don't, that's okay too. So it's really hard to say. I'm kind of just taking the approach of never say never, but I'm really enjoying where I'm at right now and excited for the future of what this solo journey looks like.
What's your relationship with BK like right now? Do you guys
it's
still
good,
talk
man.
regularly?
Not all the time. He's busy. I'm busy, but I try to keep up with him and try to encourage him, and he seems like he's super happy. So that's what's most important, and ultimately I think we're both in a healthy place of giving each other a little space. I think that's really good because we haven't had any in 12 years.
For sure.
So yeah, it feels like we're both in a great place, for sure.
That's good to hear. All right, enough FGL questions. Let's talk about this solo project.
Let's do it.
5'9", how'd it come to be? I know we've probably all read the stories, right? That your wife isn't actually 5'9".
She's not. Nope. She's an inch taller. I actually missed it by an inch, so that was my bad, honey.
Did you know that when you were writing the song?
No, I didn't. I learned that that evening when I played her the song.
Okay.
But
It just didn't make sense.
She's
to
like
change it to 5'8".
Well, she's 5'10".
Oh,
so it would have made less sense. But she's 5'10". We were something about 5'9". Just had a little rhyme to it. You know what I mean? Had a little.
For sure. And who am I to question your songwriting skills?
I mean,
I have absolutely.
I didn't overthink it at the time. I was literally just guessing, and I was a little off. But anyways,
do you have a favorite song? I know they say they're like kids, and so it's probably hard to choose. But is there one on this project that stands out to you that, like, man, this is the one that kind of tells my story and kind of gets this solo project started?
I wish there was, but there's really not. I mean, it kind of depends on the day and the week. Right now, I'm loving "Everybody Needs a Bar." The video just came out. It's really fun to play live every night, so it's been like top of mind. But I really genuinely like love all 18 songs that are going to be on this album. Not one song tells my story. They all tell a different part of my story or let people into my life and who I am. And so they all serve a different purpose and give you a different feel. And so it's hard to pick. But as a whole, I'm really excited about the album and all the songs on it and, getting it all out to the world.
I love that. Now, before anything, you're a dad and you're a husband. And so what's home life like now for you? Has it changed a little bit through all this?
It's great. I mean, we have a pretty hands-on approach, me and my wife. If I'm not writing or on the road, I'm hanging with the kiddos, and they're super entertaining. They're 2, 3, and 4 at this moment.
Crazy.
So if you can imagine, yeah, well, I didn't plan that, that's for sure. But it's very exciting. It's a lot of work, but it's super fulfilling and rewarding at the same time. And me and my wife talk about that. Just last week, we were talking about how exhausted we were, but then also the kids go to bed, and you're like, thank God they're finally in bed. But then you're like, but let's look at that picture of the kids or the video from today, what they were doing. You're like, so it's so fun, but it is a lot, man. We're in a busy season right now, and which we all are. I mean, who isn't busy right now? But we definitely feel like we're having to be intentional about making sure we keep a healthy balance.
Well, just based on your pattern, it sounds like it's about time for another. Yeah.
Yeah, about time for another. Yeah, we're a few years behind actually, and our youngest is 2.
Oh, that's true.
No, 3 will be all for us. I made sure of that like a week after our third baby got here. He done.
Good for you. Yeah. Sometimes you got to do that. I keep saying that.
Bro.
I got 3 too.
That's the best thing I ever did.
She keeps telling me I got to pretty soon.
Bro, I'm telling you, it's freedom, bro. Freedom.
Good to know.
Guilt-free sex. Did I say that on the microphone? Yeah.
I know you want to play us a new song maybe, but before we do that, I got some questions. We had some people write down these. I did not pre-screen them, so there could be free sex questions in here for all I know. Here we go. This one comes from Jen. Does your family travel with you? How do you balance your career, wife, and kids, and stay sane?
Oh. Well, that's 3 questions.
That's a lot. Jen, where are you at?
It's okay, Jen. I got
He's
you, girl.
yelling at you.
I got you. We got, well, you kind of heard, I mean, the kids come out like 50% of the time, typically. Some weekends I need some space from personal, and I need some division between work and personal, and so the kids or the family will stay home. My family is also really smart, and they usually stay home on the cities that aren't the most fun to be at, which is not Detroit, but or Denver. Where are we at right now? Denver.
Hey, that's
one
an
of the
insult,
D's.
by the way.
I know. I'm sorry, guys.
Confuse
Do
Denver
not
for Detroit.
No, not even close. Not even close. But anyways, it's a lot of fun to have them out. But again, it's a lot of work, and so we enjoy it and we do it when we can. And then other times I'm writing, and then just like I said, just being intentional about that also helps me when I write out here on the road. I feel like I can go home and unplug from work, and Monday through Wednesday I can just be a dad, and a husband, and not feel like I need to go work on writing songs. So yeah. It's very intentional, and we live by our calendar. So if, we look at our calendars and say, how's the balance look this week? How's the balance sheet this week on the calendar? And just trying to make sure we fit it all in and prioritize. You got 1 kid? Yeah. Well, either way, it's not easy. It's a lot of work. So, just throw a few more in the mix. It's all the same at that point.
Especially all at that age.
Yeah, it's wild.
All right, here we go from Brandon. Besides Brian Kelly, who would be your idol musician to collaborate with, and why?
Ooh, that's a good one.
You've had some big ones in your
career. I would say currently either Jack Harlow or Justin Timberlake. Depends on where we're going with it. But yeah, I think that could be. I love those guys, both of those guys. I've never worked with them, and always been a fan and respect those guys. So yeah, who knows? That'd be a fun one.
Do you know them personally?
I don't.
Okay. How easy is it to get a collaboration when we talk about like the Nelly collabs and the BB collabs and some of the other country guys? Do you reach out?
Thanks to Instagram, you just DM them in the Instagrams. You know what I mean? Just get right in there.
And they respond to you?
Next thing you know, you're on the record together. It's wild. No, I'm just kidding.
Last time I DM'd BB, she didn't write me back.
She didn't?
No.
No, you know, it happens differently. You know, sometimes there's a mutual connection or a friend or a manager or something that can reach out. But as many artists as I like to write with, you know, a lot of times it just comes from naturally. Like the BB Rexa thing, like we just wrote a song together and then it happened to work out that it just worked out the way it did. And she came to that right not knowing who I was, and I came not knowing who she was. So we were meeting each other and, you know, sniffing each other's tail, if you will, and then getting to know each other, and then we wrote Meant to Be. And crazy. And yeah, so that's how that worked out. So it just kind of happens differently.
For sure. All right, let's do one more. From Jeannie, are you ready to rock Broncos country?
Woo! I stay ready to rock Broncos country. Yeah, it feels good to be in Denver. Love Colorado and love the fans. I love everything about it here. So it feels good to be here anytime I can get out this way.
For sure. She mentioned the Broncos. Are you a football fan at all?
That's a little lower on the priority list for me. I do enjoy it, but I don't make the time to follow it like I should. To call myself a fan, I should just say I'm a football acquaintance.
So if you were going to cheer for an NFL team, is it probably the Titans?
Probably the Titans, yeah. And if it's college, probably Georgia.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, since that was a short one,
by default.
Ashley, I'm going to go ahead and answer this one for you. It's no. Can you sing Holy?
Not this early.
I kind of figured. Maybe tonight. Do you do any FGL stuff in your solo sets?
I do throw a couple FGL songs in there, songs that I've written to help people connect the dots. That's when it really starts connecting for people. I can literally watch people and they're like, oh, you're Tyler Hubbard. So it's actually pretty entertaining. Me and the band just like, did you see them connecting the dots? Did you see them? So yeah, it's been fun.
That's awesome.